probability sampling. Let's see. In any population, we are interested in any of the two characteristics. Characteristic I have not told. Then how do you say two characteristics? What are the two characteristics? I'll tell you. The two characteristics I've already told you. One is proportion, another is average. Right? Okay? Clear?
Yes.
Proportion and average. Clear?
Yes.
This is what we are
clear.
going to report everywhere. Proportion of population with a character of our interest. Right? How many of you are left-handers? How many of you are interested in Six Sigma? Likewise, right? So 20 out of 30 people are intelligent people. 20 out of 30 people are scoring or good people. This is called proportion. This is the report I will make. Or average value of a character of our interest. Your average performance is 60 out of 100. Right? Your average mark is in my test is 60 marks or 90 marks if the student group is very good. Or if our teaching is very good, it will be 90 marks. So average value of a character. Now you know what is character. Right? So salary is a character. Right? Characteristic. Now 12 lakhs per annum is the average salary of families. So we have seen, we are interested only in any two characteristics. The two characteristics are there and the characteristics examples are shown. Examples are also given numerically. Okay? Yes?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We do a sample study to determine the true parameter value of the population from the sample characteristic value. I think we have not taught many of these terms here. Therefore, I will teach you now here. Please note, these two characteristics, the average and people, these are all characteristics. But we can take these characteristics for a population over years. That time, the characteristics are called parameter. What is called? Parameter. The characteristic of a population is called parameter. This parameter will not change. You know why it will not change? It is a whole population that is considered. Nobody is left out. Therefore, parameter characteristic will not change. Whereas sample characteristic, we call that it will change. The average salary of performance of only 3 of you, if I take, it will be different. Performance of any other 3 people I take from you, that will be different. Therefore, the characteristic value will be differing for sample. Sample characteristic as statistics. Clear?
Sir, one
Yes.
doubt, sir.
Yes.
Can you please explain the
Explain. Yes, ma'am. Explain. Hello? Repeat, please. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Tell me.
Sir, can you please explain the parameter?
Parameter. For the characteristic, understood. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
The average characteristic, average mark, average proportion, whatever, proportion, all these are all characteristics. All these, only 2. I'm sorry, only 2. We are going to study only 2. We are going to put in our report only 2. Anybody is going to put only these 2 in the report, ultimately. Now, the characteristic of a population is called parameter. Clear?
Okay, sir.
The characteristic from a sample is called statistics. Clear? I'm going to put it now. I'm going to put it in the slide. Is it clear? Sample characteristic is going to be called statistic. Understood?
Yes, sir.
You know what is a sample? Why do I take a sample? I want to find out the performance of your group. Then what I will do, I will take any one of you, ask you a question. If you are intelligent, I will say that your population is, your group is fantastic. Will I say or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. It's
So
possible.
your average, your whole group may be intelligent or may not be intelligent. That is, but it is going to be same. Yes or no? If I say the population is very intelligent, that's all. No, there is no question that population is not intelligent at all. Population is intelligent. Now, when I am asked, when I am taking 1% from the population, it may be intelligent or may not be intelligent. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. It might be.
Yes, right. Therefore, sample statistic is called, sample characteristic value is called statistic. Now, do you understand this sentence? We do a sample study to find out the true parameter value of the population. Understand? From the sample characteristic value, we take a sample, study the sample, find out about the population. Is it okay? Clear?
Yes.
Why we are doing it? We don't have the time. Why are we doing? We don't have the resources. Why are we doing? The population is large. Right? Now, this is called statistics. Sample characteristic value is called characteristics. Population characteristics is called parameter. Sample size is the optimum number of observation from the population you intend to study. That is, you know population is very large.
I have a question, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a
Yes,
question,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Please.
If you're taking the sample, is there any criteria on this which we have to use?
That is what you are studying now. That is what I'm going to teach you. Right?
The criteria for taking sample. Okay.
The criteria for taking sample. Very good. That is what it is. Probability sampling techniques. And I'm also going to not teach you, but make you learn non-probability sampling technique also. Right? I have given an example. No. Suppose you want to give in a report that particular salt is improving the performance. Then what you should do? Right? So you will have to see that all the result, only salt is improving the result. Right? That is not the probability sampling. That is non-probability sampling techniques. Right? Now I will come to that. You will learn that. Right? So sample size is the optimum number of observations from the population you intend to study. You understand this? I should take neither more nor less. Why should I take? Why should I not take more? Because it is going to cost me, time consuming. Understand? It is unnecessary. When I can get the result from 3 people, why should I go for 4th person? Am I correct? Yes or no? Right. Why should I not take less people? If I take less people, it is going to be biased. I want to find out your performance. You are 20 people. The 20 people's average performance I want to find out. Suppose I am taking 1 person. That 1 person may be too intelligent. Right? He is biased. So if I take that person and then make my report based on his performance, the entire group is very intelligent. Can I say like that? No. Right? So it will be biased. Therefore, I want to take at least 2 people, 3 people like that. So too low means it will be biased. Too high means it will be costly, time consuming, more resources required. As the population increase, now if you are 20 people, I can take less. Right? How many I will come to you? You will know that whatever I'm saying is not correct. Please note, it may be also not correct because you will know the mistake in this statement. Right? As the population increase, sample size record also increases to cover the entire range. Is it correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Because population is more, I have to take from these extremes. Right? Sample size record also increases to cover the entire range. Very good. So this is sample size is, population is small, sample size is small. Now, not only that, if the variability is more, then also sample size also should be more. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? One person is scoring 10 marks, one person is scoring 50 marks, one person is scoring 90 marks, right? Variation is too much. The variation is too much. Then also I need to take more sample size. Clear? Understood?
Clear. So I have one question over here again.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for it. So let's say that a sampling is taken and we don't know the cluster of samples. Let's say, for example, and I'm trying to take a sample of few people, I might be there with that particular cluster and the result may go wrong or right.
Yes, you are going to get an answer for all these things by the end of this another 2-3 slides. Okay, understand?
Okay, sir. Fine, sir.
Clear?
Yeah.
That is why I'm saying that you first of all, how much you need to take, that you'll have to find out. Yes or no?
Yes, yes. How do you quantify the sample size?
Yeah, and then how do you take that sample also is important. Yes or no?
Yes, 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 yes.
Right? Both what you are asking now is the question that I'm going to answer afterwards. You are asking beforehand.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you very much. All these doubts will be clarified. And next time onwards, please don't say that I need a question, I want to ask you. Straight away shoot the question, right? Okay, that time will be saved and I will answer. I'm there for you to answer. Thank you. Now, as variability increases, the sample size required becomes more to cover the entire variability. That is what I stated now. Is it okay? Yes?
Okay.
Say yes, sir. Yes? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's say, please, yes, faster. You can
Yes, yes,
unmute.
yes.
All of you can unmute yourself
Yes.
and during the session. Right? See, here this is low variability and this is high variability. Now, do you need lower sample size or higher sample size here? Compared to this? Lower sample size, higher sample size. This is called variability and this population size I've already told you. Margin of error. Margin of error is the accuracy from the true value within which the population value lies. When I say your average, your class average, your 20 people, your 20 persons average score is say 80 marks. Now, will it be exactly 80 marks? It will never be 80 marks. Yes or no? It can be 80.1, 80.5, 81 or 79, like that. 79 or 81 or 82. But very, very low probability that 1 by 100 probability, 0.01 probability, that it will be exactly, that is too low probability, no, negligible probability, or 0.01% and like this. Therefore, what I would say that with a little more confidence, now suppose I want to tell you with 100% confidence, do you know what answer I will tell you? You are asking me a question. RK, tell me what is our average mark will be in this test as a group of the 20 people. 20 of you are writing the test and then you want me to tell you the answer with 100% confidence. Now I have an answer. 100% confidence I can tell you the answer. Can you tell me that answer?
100.
No.
There is no probability that you will score, all of you will score 100. Then it will be 100 average, no? All of you cannot score 100 marks, yeah.
Right.
But 100% confidence are you? No. Right. Now I will tell you the answer. All of you will score definitely between 0 to 100. 100% confident I am. Am I right?
Yes.
I will never be wrong because I have taken the 100% confidence, including the 100 marks, 0 to 100 marks, entire range. Right. The margin of error is 50. Yeah. Either plus 50 or minus 50. That's all. Plus 50 I have taken, minus 50 I have taken. But that is not what you wanted in reality. You want me to tell you 80 plus or minus 3%. 3% they will agree. 3% this side or that side. Even in your electricity, no, the frequency varies. They accept no 60 plus or minus 1, I think. 59 to 61, I think frequency will be varying. Understood? So whenever I tell you, I have a confidence level. Confidence level is one. Confidence interval is another. This confidence interval is that between 82 and 78. That is what is called the margin of error is plus or minus 2. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. As you need more precision, suppose you want exactly 80. This is 100% precision is not possible for me. The sample size required becomes more to get the required accuracy. Now we are talking about sample size. Therefore, if you want to give more precision, the 82 to 78 means I have to take more percent and then ask the average mark. Am I right? I have to sample more number of people from your group. Am I right? Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Therefore, I am now in trouble. You want to very close. I have to take more people. Right? As you want to become more confident in your results, you increase your confidence level. Right? Confidence level more confidence. Confidence level 100% I am very confident. I am happy. You know why I am happy? I will simply say 50 to 100 marks. Nobody can question me. But that is not what I wanted. In between these two, I should neither be too happy nor too sorrow. As you increase your confidence level, the accuracy decreases. 100% confidence means accuracy is plus or minus 50. Understood? Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, therefore, there is a balance between these two I have to get. So steps involved, identify the sampling frame. It's a very simple question, easy question. Can you tell me what could be the identified sampling frame? I have to define the sample size. Therefore, he says, identify the sampling frame. What could be the frame? Can anyone tell me? Simple answer. Now, can you tell me how many samples I should take to find out the average performance of your group? Can anyone tell me? Answer.
You have to you take based on the alpha, beta, gamma groups, 1 or 2 samples each out of the group.
No. Don't go into that. Answer my question only, please. Don't try to give the answer for other questions. I am asking you a question. You are 20 people. Your group is 20 people. You want to find out the average marks that you have written a test in my test, right? In order to find out, I have to take a few of you, and take the average. Yes or no? That is what is called sampling. Yes or no?
Yes.
Understood the question? Understood the question?
Yes.
How many of you are there?
20.
20.
20. Very good. And I want to take a sample. Now, how many samples I should take? Tell me. Answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The number?
Maybe 5 samples.
5. Very good. You have answered 5. Very good. Now, I have not given you definition of frame, but you have not given me an answer of 25. Why you have not given me an answer of 25?
Because size of the team itself is maximum upper limit.
That's all. That's a frame. Understood? Here. Number step 1. Step 1 you have done without your knowledge. What is the step 1? You have found out the frame. It is 20. Then you have taken the sample size. Clear? Am I right?
Yes.
So identify the sampling frame. Then decide on the sampling size. You have decided. That also you have done. Then choose the sampling techniques. This is what is the topic of my presentation. I am yet to come to that. Right? I'm sorry for that, but I'll come to that. Now, identify the sampling frame. It is a complete list of all the cases in the population from which our sample will be drawn. That is called population size. The notation is capital N. Clear? Very clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Very good. Now, step 2, decide on the sample size. This is small n, right? If the sample frame is less than or equal to 50, I told you, when I was making a sentences about your group, I was telling 5, 4 and all. I told you I am wrong, but you will know why I am wrong. This is where I am wrong. Because if sample frame is less than or equal to 50, bias may occur in sampling. So probability sampling is not preferred. Even though I taught you examples with your group, throughout I was wrong because here it will all be biased even if I take 5 people or 6 people. Therefore, your sample size should be at least 30. So all the 20 people I have to do so far. You have understood one mistake I made. You have understood where RK was going wrong. So if the population size is less than 50, go for census. Go for census. Confidence level. Census means take all the people. Confidence level. If you select 100 cases in your sample, then 95% level of confidence. Confidence level means level of confidence. Both are same, right? I've just interchanged. 95% level of confidence means at least 95 out of these 100 cases will represent my population. Whatever answer I'm giving, whatever report I'm giving will be valid at least 95% of the time out of these 100 cases. That is what is called confidence level. Margin of error. I've already taught you this. It is accuracy you require for any estimate of this level of confidence made from your sample. Most likely 3 to 5% is acceptable. Certainly not 100%. Clear? Understood?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now, very good. You are happy. I am also happy. Now I will see here. I'm not going to teach you this because this is not the topic. Let me see whether we have a Excel calculator. See, this is the sample size calculator. This template, I'm going to give it to you at the end of the session. Please remind me so that I will give it to you. Only gray cells you can fill it up. So population size, frame size, you can fill it up. So I can make it as 1000, say. Then what it will do is, it will give the answer sample size. And then sample proportion. So you take a sample, no? And that you take a sample without knowing 270, you take some sample and then find out the proportion. Feed that proportion here. If you don't know anything, at least you put 50%. 50% is going to give you the best estimate, right? And then margin of error, 3 to 5%. Here I have given you, even though you are filling up this data, this is giving the answer sample size for this data. And here, if the margin of error is going to be 2%, 3%, 5%, 10%, what is the sample size variation it is giving here? You can make here even 50. So I'll make here 5% here. I'll make 5% here. So I'll put 5% here. So you'll get the 278 answer. So you can use this, play around, whatever value you want to put, you can put here, sample size will be given here, and population size, if you give, population size is 1,000. Yeah. Yes, ma? Yes. Yeah. This is MOE. Population size also, for varying population size, the sample size is given here, just to speed up your process. That's all, right? So you can use this data, use the sample size estimator. I will also give you sample size estimator more thoroughly for a professional look. Probably you'll have to join black belt. Otherwise, I'll save it. I will probably Tuesday class, I'll share it. Okay, clear? Can I close this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we will go proceed. So sample size is decided. Only with this size, our sample is constructed properly. Now you'll have to take the sample properly. Even if I give you take 2 people, you should not take only one-sided, right? And now suppose I want to find out the purchase tendency of people in a mall. I can go and stand at the gate. Whoever comes, passes by, I can ask, hey, have you made a purchase? Have you made a purchase? And then I can make a report, right? That is not correct, right? Choose, I can do it. That is permitted. That is a sampling technique. Step 3, choose sampling technique. Go to an Excel sheet with say 1,000 numbers. If population size is say 1,000, then simple random sampling. We are going to see what is that? Simple random sampling technique. First random probability sampling techniques. We are going to see this. What I do is generate a random number. Generate a random number to get non-repeating random numbers. Pick cases according to these numbers. First of all, I select, give me one number, please. 1 to 1,000. Give me any one number.
600.
400.
600.
Okay. Now I will take the 600th event or 600th object or 600th process, and then I will take do this what you call survey. Okay. Now what I will have to ask you, please give me another random number which is between 1 to 1,000 but not 600. Tell me a number.
400.
That's all. You have given a number which is not 600. Now I'm going to ask. Now I'm going to do this. Take that 400th piece and do my survey, and then I'm going to ask you now again. Give me a random number which is not 400, which is not 600, but which is between 1 to 1,000. This way, I'm going to take all the random numbers, pick up the random numbers, take the objects according to this. So you have understood what is simple random sampling? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, systematic random sampling. I will tell you, suppose population size is known, sample size is known, it is 200 by 1,000. That is sampling fraction is for every 5 units, one sample I have to take. So what I do is get one random. What I will do is, sorry. So I have taken here 1 to 5, 5 to 10, like this. My objects for inspection is there. Now I am going to take first, say it is the third item of the first thing. Now can anyone tell me what is my next item will be from this? Will it be from 1 to 5 or 5 to 10?
Been 5 to
Tell me what will be my next
5 to 10.
What will be my next item? Which item I will take?
8.
8. So what is the next item?
13.
13.
What is that? Oh, okay, you are adding 5, 5, right? You are
Yeah.
adding 5, 5. Yes or no?
Yes.
You are added 5, 5. Yes or no? Yes, right.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
That means it is wrong because that is called systematic sampling. What you have done is systematic sampling, but you have not done random sampling. So what I should do is from 1 to 5, I have taken a random number. When I say 3, I have not particularly chosen 3. A random number comes between 1 and 5 is 3. So I have taken 3. Similarly, from 5 and 10, I have to take a random number and do it. Right? Random number. So I take random numbers. And then this is how I do a systematic random sampling. Please note, if the random is not there, that gentleman is correct. You are correct. Right? If the randomness is not there, whatever you do is correct. That is called systematic sampling. When I say random sampling, you will have to have, for every 55 units, you have to take again random sampling. And that is what is called systematic random sampling. Clear?
Okay.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Because
yes,
if we make a mistake and then learn, we will learn perfectly. That is why I made it. It's not my intention to make mistake purpose. 1 second. Stratified random sampling. Population is divided according to some relevant variable of that particular samples. Example. Please note, the stratification is done according to the characteristic, according to the characteristics of the, the population, right? For example, I want to find out the performance of students in my university. Then the students are the objects. So I have to take some characteristics of the students. Characteristics of the students, right? Students may be day scholars, students may be hostelers, students may be hostelers residing in individual rooms, students may be hostelers residing in shared rooms. Therefore, that according to that I can do it. So students, single room in hostel, shared room in hostel, day scholars. Therefore, I am stratifying the sample according to some characteristics of the students. Please remember the word characteristics of the sample. And then if this total population is 1,500, I take 500, 800, 200 are there present in this. Total population is divided according to this characteristic number. 500 people are there in the hostel, single room. 800 people are shared rooms. More poor people are there, like India. Day scholars, 200 people are there. Again, they are poor people. Now, sample size is 300, so I take proportion. 500 out of 1,500 into 500 into 300 is 100. So on here, 800 by 1,500 into 300 is 160. So 8 by 5 is 1.6. Here it is 300 into 200 by 1,500 is 40, right? So that is how I calculated. This is called stratified random sampling. Understood? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear.
Now we are going to go for cluster random sampling. Cluster random sampling is, previously in stratified sampling, we identify a variable relevant for us, that is of the students. In cluster sampling, we divide the population according to some naturally occurring variable. Please note, not according to the student's variable, naturally occurring, because cost is a consideration. Yeah, what do I do? Geographical area is such a variable. Like for example, I have my regional offices in Delhi and Calcutta and Bombay and in Chennai. Then what I have to do is, I have to geographically divide and then select, right? There is no particular characteristic. I do not know that the Delhi people are this, the Bombay people are like this. So little difficulty to justify and grasp this, but I have told you my best. Hope you have understood. Somebody has told me another example also, apart from geographical area. Season was one. So summer season, winter season, like that. Population is divided into districts, say 20, and we select any 3 districts. And this is called cluster sampling. Sample districts are 1, 5, and 3. You have to select 3 districts. I select 3 districts from here. You can combine. Please note, we have completed all the techniques, all the probability sampling techniques. Non-probability sampling techniques, one of you have already told. The remaining I will tell you now. You will give you a quiz if the quiz is there. Now, generally in real life, you know what will happen? You will combine all these techniques, right? Cluster, stratified, simple random, all this. See, this is your cluster. I've taken a cluster. And then I've stratified here in this. And then I'm taking a simple random here in this, right? In each circle, I'm taking this. So this is how I'm combining it. I'm doing it, sampling techniques. Now tell me, can you match these things? These are all 1,000 employees there. Selection by random number generation. Can you match with this ABCD options? What option? Please answer.
One is B.
Yes, one is B. Very good. Thank you. Next one.
List of
Systematic. Second is D.
Yes, systematic. Then?
Yes. Gender wise.
Certified.
Yes. Then finally cluster.
Then cluster.
Now I am going to quiz you with what I have not taught you, but you know the answer yourself. Now tell me what is the answer for match this. These are all non-probability sampling techniques, will be done by amateurs and PhD students. Yes. After the class, please complete my questionnaire.
Purpose?
response.
Purposive. Then what? This is not purposive, definitely. This is not
Voluntary
purposive.
response.
Voluntary response.
Voluntary response. Maybe, right? Very good. And then this one?
Purposive.
Now, tell me, is this the voluntary or this is the voluntary? Which is more voluntary?
Second one is more.
Second one is more voluntary.
Very good. Now you got the answer. Then what is first one? We'll keep it. Then we call upon average students and inquire. What is this?
Convenience.
Huh?
Convenience.
Convenience. Okay, we will leave this convenience also. Then what is this? I want to meet particular type of, say, homeless people, but I do not have the list. Then
No, fourth one is
This is-
convenient.
Fourth one is convenient.
Purposive, sir. What is
okay.
purposive?
Now I will show you the answer. You will find out this. This is convenience. After the class, please complete my questionnaire. This is voluntary. You did it correctly. And this is purposive. I'm calling purposely some people, average students. I'm not calling, right? Anybody. Now I want to meet a particular type. This is called snowball. Snowball means I take one person and then I get another person from that person. And then the second person will recommend another person by references. So it is a snowball effect. Now you understand what you mean by snowball effect, right? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So this is snowball. These are all non-probability sampling techniques. So I have taught you all the topics given to me except central limit theorem, probably which I will take it up later at the appropriate period. Now what I have covered to you so far is data sampling. What is the data types? For what type of data, what report is required? And then what is an operational definition? And then what is the sampling techniques and how to determine the sample size. And I'm going to attach the template for your play. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
That's all.
Yeah, hope step number 4 was taught to you easy to understand manner, and hope everyone was confident with the step number 4.